Hello, beautiful, wonderful person watching my video. We're gonna do something I haven't done in a really long time, and that is what I've been reading part 2. So to start off, we have to look into my handy dandy box of books. These are books that I've read. We'll start off with Lauren Graham's Talking as Fast as I Can. I did not read her first book, which is a novel, I think. It's not even like about her. It's a fictional story, I think. I'm not even entirely sure. Wow, I just opened the page to a great picture. That's her. So this book starts off really slow and really boring, and honestly, I put it down for like a week or so because I was not interested in the first few chapters. It's just like about her grandmother, and like, I mean, it's pretty cool because she like is moved to Japan when she's less than a month old, and that's interesting, but I don't know, the beginning to me was just boring. And then it gets really, really funny once she gets into like Gilmore Girls and Parenthood and stuff like that, and I ended up loving it. I had a hard time parting with it when I was done, so I really, really recommend this book. And then I read Anna Kendrick's Scrappy Little Nobody, and this book, still to this day, is by far the funniest book I've ever read in my life. I laughed at every single page. That sounds like an exaggeration, but it's not. Like, really, it is hilarious. She says the most ridiculous stuff, and just the way she talks in her book sounds like exactly as if you were sitting having a conversation with her. She writes the same way I think she would talk, and the way that she acts and portrays herself in movies and interviews and stuff. So it just made it that much funnier. And she talks about her hometown and growing up, and then like her start into fame. And I didn't even know that she's been on Broadway since she was 12. Like, that's nuts to me. She is like the most qualified theater person in the whole world. She's amazing. I have a burp. Oh, that was weak. But anyways. Then I read Room by Emma Donoghue. And again, at first, I thought it was really slow, and I had a hard time because it's worded really badly, because it's supposed to be from the point of view from a toddler, like a 5-year-old. So there are a lot of grammar mistakes, but they're intentional. And at first it makes it hard to read because you have to kind of like get used to it. But once you get in the swing of the way that it's written, it's super easy and very, very interesting. So it's basically about, this is never said directly in the book, but it's made very, very obvious. The woman is abducted and she's held captive in this tiny little garage shed, like one of those ones, those like kind of big ones that you can get from like Menards, except it's like not big if you have to live in there. And so the man who kept her, he comes in and he has like repeatedly raped her for like years and years, and they have a child out of that, and so she's raising this child, and there's like a code lock on the door and they can never get out, and there's like barely any sunlight. It's really, really sad. But it's all about them trying to escape and them surviving, and you know, the mom doing everything she can to protect her child. So this is very good, and at the end of it my mind was blown. I couldn't believe how fast it escalated. So take a peek at this one too. And last but not, well, actually it might be the least because I don't really enjoy it, Lolita, a classic. I don't like this book because it's about a pedophile, which I wish I had known before I spent money on this book, because really about like a middle-aged man who likes molesting children. Like, he literally hooks up with, like, he, at the beginning of the book, he gets a 13-year-old street hooker and he like does stuff with her, and it's disgusting. And he like talks about, I mean, the way he speaks about them is beautiful. Like, the things he says about, you know, their bodies and their lips and their looks and stuff would be gorgeous if it were an adult woman he were speaking about. You know, those are the kind of things that a lot of women want men to write about them, and the way they want to be seen as like these gorgeous goddesses that are just like irresistible. That's what people want you to say about them. But I don't want to read that about a child, about a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. That's disgusting. And people are like, oh, this is a beautiful piece of literature. Like, I didn't read much. I read 42 pages. Hopefully it doesn't end that way. I don't know if the book stays talking about children, but I didn't want to read it any further. I keep trying to read it and give it another chance, but he keeps talking about little girls. So, as always, friends, thank you for watching, and I would like you guys to tell me more about Lolita so I can either toss it or read it, and tell me what books you've been reading. Recommend me books. I'm always looking for new books to read. Honestly, I go through them so fast, and then I go like a few months without it because I'm like, I have no books to read. So I really do like look up videos like this on YouTube, and I see what other people have been reading, and that's how sometimes I get book recommendations. But it'd be easier if you guys just came to me. So anyways, thank you. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time.